Hi there. It's September 23rd and time for Proverbs 23. Let's jump over there and we'll get into it. Now, I've separated some of these already. These are each one statement. And I don't know who decided to cut the Bible up into verse numbers, but in all versions use the same verse numbers so they can correspond to each other. Remember, in the original text, there were no verses and numbers. So, although they did separate things into paragraphs. So, there we go. Number one, two, and three together. When thou sittest to eat with the ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put thy knife to thy throat if you be a man given to the appetite. Be not desirous of his dainty meats, for it is a deceivable meat. Okay, there's nuts in here. Eat with sobriety. Bridle thine appetite as it were forced, and by violence. Really serious. For ofttimes the rich, when they bid their inferiors to their tables, it is not for the love they bear them, but for their own secret purposes. You get that? And I talk about this whenever it comes up. Okay. If you're invited to lunch by a boss or a superior or noble or something, know that they are not inviting you there to feed you, okay? They're inviting you there so they can learn more about you. And it can be very deceptive, okay? They're going to watch for things like, are you a ravenous person, right? Do you just take and never give? They're going to watch if you put salt on your food before you even taste it, because that's going to say something about your very nature, okay? And it's done a lot by prospective employers. They'll invite somebody out to lunch. Order whatever you want, okay? And they're going to say what he orders. If you're very humble and you order just something light, they're going to watch if you season your food before you taste it, because that says that you're not open to new ideas. They're especially going to watch how you treat the waitstaff. Okay, they might even have the waitstaff drop something. They set it up before, come over here and drop a fork or drop a napkin on the floor. And they're going to see how you respond to that. If you're, oh, let me help you. Okay, that says good thing. If you sneer your nose about, oh, that's a lousy waitress, where did they get her from? They're watching you. It has nothing to do with the food. So beware, right? Good statement. Okay, 4 and 5 are together. Travail not too much to be rich, but cease from thy wisdom. Wilt thou cast thine eyes upon it, which is nothing? For riches taketh her to wings as an eagle, and flieth into the heaven. Well, bestow not the gifts that God hath given thee to get worldly riches. That's a good one. I like that. I should put that in there. Bestow not the gifts that God hath given thee to get worldly riches. Let's read that over here in the New American Standard. Do not weary yourself to gain wealth. Cease from your consideration of it. When you set your eyes on it, it is gone. For wealth certainly makes itself wings like an eagle that flies towards the heavens. Right. Money never sticks around. Stop chasing money, because as soon as you get it, it's gone. Okay? Every time. And don't use the gifts God gave you to get money, to get worldly wisdom. A lot of people do. Okay? A lot of people are using their spiritual gifts to enhance themselves financially. Right? And that never lasts. You don't have to even mention names, because you know who most of them are right off the top of your head, right? Hey, 6, 7, and 8 is together. And we'll have to read that over here too, because this English is a little. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire his dainty meats. That is covetous as contrary, a good eye is taken for generous. Okay. For as though he thought it in his heart, so he will say it unto thee, eat and drink, but his heart is not with thee. Thou shalt vomit thy morsel that thou hast eaten, and thou shalt lose thy sweet words. He will not cease till he hath done thee some harm, and his flattering words shall come to no use. Right. Now let's read that over here in the New American Standard. Do not eat the bread of a selfish man. Look, there's an evil eye. Or desire his delicacies. For as he thinks within himself, so he is. So he says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. Pleasant words. So still, don't eat with selfish people, okay? And selfish people are very easy to point out, okay? They're going to be all friendly and appearing generous on the outside. But at the same time, they will tell you how much they paid for everything, but not in a way that sounds like, I gave you this money. They'll complain about. Did you know that these steaks were $25 a pound? Can you believe that? Man. And a 6-pack of soda is now $12. I remember when it was $3. Go ahead, eat, drink, okay? And inside, they're counting the cost. Man, this dinner's going to cost me. They're sitting there figuring out inside. That's what they're saying. He thinks within himself. He's counting the cost. And man, this is going to, because he loves his money. Okay? That's a stingy person. But after not hanging out with people like that. Mm-hmm. Good advice, huh? Right? Okay, 9. Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Right? Don't try to talk to stupid people, okay? They're not going to listen. They're going to call you names. Right? That's the best thing today. You say the truth to somebody, and they can't fight the truth, so they start calling you names. You're a racist, you're a misogynist, you're a bigot, you're this, you're that. Okay. 10. Remove not the ancient bounds, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. Removing boundaries. Back when people were given land and passed it down. Okay, he's going. Okay. For he that redeemeth them is mighty, and he will defend their cause against thee. God will get you, right? You steal other people's property, boundaries. He used to move the boundaries a foot each year until they had most of their property gone. They call that encroachment now, as a legal term. 12. Apply thine heart to instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. Withhold not the correction from the child if you smite it. Okay, those are separate. Yeah. Apply your heart to instruction of discipline, and your ears to words of knowledge. Pretty simple statement, huh? Withhold not correction from the child. If you smite him with the rod, he shall not die. Okay. Right? This goes together. Right. We talk about this. It's in here all the time, okay? It was in here yesterday. If you spank your child, you're not going to kill him, okay? He's not dying. If you spank him with a rod, you shall deliver his soul from hell, okay? From destruction. It's that serious, okay? You can save your child's life by spanking them. And you don't have to do it a lot. When they've committed something serious and they really need a lesson, sometimes that's the best way. They need to fear the punishment, just like you should fear going to hell if you don't have Jesus as a friend, right? important stuff. 15, my son, if thine heart be wise, mine heart shall rejoice, and I also. Right. You love it when your kids are smart, huh? When they turn out smart and wise. Makes you feel good. Well, look, it's together. Okay, let's start over. My son, if thine heart be wise, mine heart shall rejoice, and I also. And my reins shall rejoice when thy lips speak righteous things. And my innermost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Yes. We love to hear our kids speak what is right, don't we? 17, let not thine heart be envious against sinners, but let it be in the fear of the Lord continually. For surely there is an end, and thy hope shall not be cut off. Anything else that goes together? Right. Don't let your heart envy sinners, but live in the fear of the Lord always. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. The prosperity of the wicked shall not continue. That's what they mean by surely there is an end, right? Or a future, right? Don't envy these sinners. Don't envy these people that are wicked. And some of them openly worship Satan, okay? And they have thousands of people cheering them on. I want to be just like that. I never understood that. Never understood that. Okay, 19. O thou, my son, hear and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way. Keep not company with drunkards nor gluttons, for the drunkard and the glutton shall be poor, and the sleeper shall be clothed in rags. This kind of all goes together, huh? Obey thy father that hath begotten thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Buy the truth and sell it not, likewise wisdom, instruction, and understanding. Spare no cost for truth's sake, neither depart from it for any gain. Right? Don't sell. Don't sell your truth. That's something that should be given freely. Okay? Right? We won't go into professors that make millions of dollars. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him. Right. You love it when your kids are good, don't you? 25. Thy father and thy mother shall be glad, and she that bare thee shall rejoice. Those two go together. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes delight in my ways. Thyself wholly to wisdom. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. Also she lieth in wait as for prey, and she increaseth the transgressors among men. She seduceth many and causeth them to offend God. Then, to whom is woe, to whom is sorrow, to whom is strife. Okay, this 29 through, we're going to highlight this whole thing. I don't know if we'll read it twice, but this whole thing is about alcoholism, okay? To whom is woe, to whom is sorrow, to whom is strife, to whom is murmuring, to whom are the sounds without cause, and to whom is the redness of the eyes? Even to them that tarry long at the wine, to them that go and seek mixed wine, or mixed drinks. Right? Look thou not upon the wine when it is red, and when it showeth his color in the cup, or goeth down pleasantly. In the end thereof it will bite like a serpent, and hurt like a cockatrice, like a viper. Thine eyes shall look upon strange women, and thine heart shall speak lewd things. What's this? That is, drunkenness shall bring thee to whoredom. Right. And thou shalt be as one that sleepeth in the midst of the sea, and he that sleepeth in the top of a mast. Right? In such great danger shalt thou be, right? It's dangerous sleeping up there. They have stricken me, thou shalt say, but I was not sick. They have beat me, but I knew not. When I awoke, therefore I will seek it yet still. I need another drink, right? Their drunkenness make them more insensible than beasts, yet they cannot refrain. That's an alcoholic, right? You're going to wake up feeling like you've been hit by a truck, and I don't remember being hit by a truck. I don't have any bruises, but I feel like I'm dying. I need another drink, right? To numb the pain. And that's a very long, one of the few places in the Bible that actually explains drunkenness. Now you will pass out in the middle of the street. It's like sleeping on the top of a ship's mast. It just throw you around. It's dangerous, right? Well, there you go. That's Proverbs 23. We'll go over our highlights. Quickly, we highlighted them to separate them mostly, and we talked about this at length. All right, let's read it over here. When you sit down to dine with the ruler, consider carefully what is before you and put a knife to your throat if you are a man of great appetite. Do not desire his delicacies, for it is deceptive food. And over here, deceptive food, for ofttimes the rich, when they bid their inferiors to their tables, it is not for the love they bear them, but for their own secret purposes, right? They're testing you. They're seeing what kind of personality you have. If you're friendly, if you're obedient, if you're kind, if you're humble. It has nothing to do with the food. But they'll watch how you eat it. Right? And 4 and 5. Travail not too much to be rich, but cease from thy wisdom. Which is bestow not the gifts that God hath given thee to get worldly riches, right? Don't use your godly talents or your spiritual gifts to get rich. Right? It says it right there. A lot of people do. Okay? A lot of people do. And they'll get theirs in the end. Okay? Right. When you set your eyes on it, it is gone, for wealth certainly makes itself wings like an eagle that flies towards the heavens. Wilt thou cast thine eyes upon it, which is nothing, for riches taketh her to her wings as an eagle, and flieth into the heaven. It goes faster than it comes, right? Money does that. Money is a heartless god. It's something that's to be used and not worshipped. Okay, 6, 7, and 8. And let's read that. Yeah. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire his dainty meat, the selfish person. Okay. That is, covetous is contrary. A good eye is taken for generous. Okay. An evil eye is selfish, miserly, inward. For as though he thought it in his heart, so he will say unto thee, eat and drink, but his heart is not with thee. Thou shalt vomit thy morsel that thou hast eaten, and thou shalt lose thy sweet words. Okay. For as he thinks within himself, so he is. He says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. The selfish person is always calculating inside what it's costing him. Right? And there are clues. If he tells you what everything costs, you'll know that he cares more about that than the friendship. Okay. Highlighted 10 and 11, just because they go together. Remove not the ancient bounds, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless, for he that redeemeth them is mighty. He will defend their cause against thee. Right. Encroachment. It doesn't go on so much now as it used to. I mean, I think my neighbor may be encroaching on my property a little bit. Some things you just let go and you don't fight, If I sell it, the next person can take that up if they want to. But the laws are there, and the laws will be on the side of, if a neighbor is encroaching on my property, by 5 or 10 feet, the laws are there. And when somebody decides to fight it, the law will be for the person who's right. 13 and 14. Withhold not correction from the child. If you smite him with the rod, if you spank him, he shall not die. If you spank him with the rod, thou shalt deliver his soul from hell. Right. Right. Children should do right, and they should fear doing wrong. Okay? Because if you don't show them the fear of doing wrong, when they get out into the world and try to do wrong, thinking nothing will happen to them, they will be in for a big surprise when they find out that the world doesn't work the way you raised them. Okay? You are killing them if you're not disciplining them properly. Right? Because the world will not be as kind as a mother and a father is. Right? 15 and 16. My son, if thine heart be wise, mine heart shall rejoice, and I also. If my reins shall rejoice when thy lips speak righteous things, and my reins, that's a weird song, my reins. It says inmost being, or kidneys. My kidneys will rejoice. They tried to find the spot deepest in your body to say, my thoughts come from the deepest part of my body. And a lot of times it's kidneys, sometimes it's heart, sometimes it's bowels, thinking that's the deepest part of a human body. It's the innermost being. 17 and 18. Let not thine heart be envious against sinners, but let it be in the fear of the Lord continually. For surely there is an end, and thy hope shall not be cut off. The prosperity of the wicked shall not continue. Right? Right. Most of these, if you drive around to any rich place like, Beverly Hills, or even some parts of Atlanta, or, Miami, or any big city, you'll see mansions there. Okay. And I don't know the actual number, but there are probably, it's probably in the single digits as percentage-wise of mansions that are actually still owned by the person who built them. Okay. Okay, there's a very large mansion in Atlanta. Okay, that was built by Evander Holyfield, I always liked Evander Holyfield. He was a godly man. He was a boxer. And he built this huge mansion. I mean, it had 2 pools. It had a gym. It had an inside pool and an outside pool and a bowling alley. And you can drive by it, in Atlanta and see this huge grounds. And he doesn't own it anymore. Okay, it's owned by a rapper now. Okay, a musician bought it. And even though it was custom built for Evander Holyfield and his interest, his athletic interest, his boxing and his training and entertaining. And most mansions, if you look at them, the person that built them no longer has them. Okay? They've either lost them or they've sold them. Right? It ends. Okay? Riches never stick around. Okay? Sometimes they do. Okay? The devil rewards very evil people to keep them evil, right? To keep them getting more and more people in and getting more and more people away from the Lord, right? Satan uses riches for that. But even that will end, okay? Surely there is an end, right? Right. Prosperity of the wicked shall not continue. Sooner or later, they all go broke. And if they die in that kind of sin and find out the hard way that was really bad, but don't envy these rich people, okay? Don't. Seek the Lord, okay? Let it be in the fear of the Lord continually. Follow God, and he'll give you everything you need, okay? So, there you go. And this is about alcoholism. We won't read through that again. We went through that. And if that's something you need to read, then for sure. 23, 29 through 35 is all about alcoholism. So there you have it. That's Proverbs 23. Stay tuned later today. We're going through the book of Esther, and that's a very exciting story in there, okay? And listen to yesterday's, and today's will complete the story of Esther, and it was amazing. So we're on like 267, I believe, or something like that. But that's where we're going. So remember, take these lessons to heart, okay? Take them to heart. Listen to it again, okay? So, and be humble. Always be humble. Follow the Lord. See you next time.